Start in 1991. The Soviet Union collapses. Ukraine becomes independent overnight. It inherits nukes, lots of them, but trades them away in 1994 under the Budapest Memorandum for Security Assurances from Russia, the US, and the UK. Fast forward to the 2000s, Ukraine sits between two gravitational pulls, the European Union, NATO, on one side, and Russia on the other. In 2004, mass protests, the Orange Revolution, push back against a rigged election seen as pro-Kremlin. Ukraine leans a bit west. 2013-2014, a turning point. Ukraine's president, under pressure from Moscow, ditches an EU deal. People fill the streets, Euromaidan. The government collapses. A new direction, closer to Europe. Russia responds fast. It seizes Crimea in 2014 and backs separatists in Donbass. A low-burning war begins. Over 13,000 killed before 2022. Now the build-up. For years, the Kremlin frames NATO expansion as a threat. Even though Ukraine wasn't close to joining, Russia insists the West crossed red lines. Meanwhile, Ukrainians keep choosing leaders and laws that point west, anti-corruption, language debates, a Ukrainian identity more distinct from Russia. Late 2021, Russia stages troops around Ukraine, north, east, south. The messaging is security demands. The subtext, leverage. February 24, 2022, full-scale invasion. Why? It's a mix. First, imperial ambition and history. The Kremlin's narrative says Russians and Ukrainians are one people, and an independent, democratic, Western-leaning Ukraine undermines that story. Taking control keeps Kyiv in Moscow's orbit and signals influence over the post-Soviet space. Second, regime security. A successful, freer Ukraine next door is a bad example for an authoritarian system. It threatens the Kremlin's stability narrative at home. Third, military geography. Russia wants buffers. If Ukraine integrates with Western militaries, Russia loses strategic depth around the Black Sea and its southwestern flank. Even without NATO membership, training and weapons flows were tightening. Fourth, domestic politics. Before the war, Russia's economy was stagnating. Protests were popping up. Wars can rally support and distract. A quick victory was expected. It wasn't quick. Fifth, energy and leverage. Controlling routes and pressure over gas transit gives Moscow economic influence. A compliant Ukraine would secure those levers. And finally, miscalculation. The Kremlin bet Ukraine would fold, and the West would fracture. Instead, Ukraine resisted, and Western aid surged. Where we are now, a grinding war. Ukraine fights for sovereignty and territory. Russia frames it as existential security. The costs are massive. Lives, cities, economies. The bottom line, Russia attacked Ukraine to keep it from leaving Moscow's sphere, by force if politics failed. It's about power, identity, and the map. Understanding the timeline makes the motives clearer, even if the outcome is still unwritten. If you want more, read the Budapest Memorandum, Russia's 2021 security proposals, and OSCE reports on 2014.